Yeah, let's give him another round of applause. So I know you've been patient, and now you need to endure. So my word is endurance. Patient endurance go hand in hand. You can't endure if you're not patient. If you're impatient, you'll give up. You'll stop waiting. You know, when you stop waiting, you've quit. I wasn't so loud. Wow, now you quit loud. So, endurance is part of what we need to be patient. So I'm married to a person with endurance. She's a runner. And so when she prepares for a race, rather than waiting for the race to come, you know what she does? She runs. She runs over and over and over again. 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers, 30 kilometers a week. Craziness like that. She runs and runs and runs because she's waiting for the race. Because you know, a person that doesn't run and keep running and train themselves in endurance cannot endure the race. Because you can't endure a race if you haven't trained for it. And so we don't wait doing nothing. As Ralph said there, patience does not mean passive lifestyle. It doesn't mean inactivity. Actually, it's preparation. It's a season of preparation. What is God preparing you for? And what are you doing to get prepared for it? Are you waiting, like you're waiting for a bus, sitting down at some bench, waiting for the bus to come? Or are you preparing yourself for where you are going on that journey? So, endurance is simply defined like this: the ability to endure an unpleasant or difficult process or situation without giving up. It's the only word that has in its definition that I've come across itself. Endurance, the ability to endure. So I have to go, you can't define endurance as the ability to endure. What does endure then mean? You see, it's a noun. Endurance is a noun. It's something that you can actually be. Now you can't be something if you haven't trained yourself to become that. And so before the noun can exist, there needs to be an active verb that produces it. And so, it's not an English lesson, I know, but so this is the thing. In endurance, to endure, the verb, it means to suffer. Patient. To suffer patiently is to develop endurance. And when you have endurance, you can finish what you start. You can finish what you start. If you can just put the next slide on for me, I'll thank you very much for that. Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. Or the author and the maturer of our faith. Another translation, the author and the perfecter of our faith. God wants to make perfect what is placed in you through endurance, the ability to go through something difficult without quitting. So God is not holding back. God is training you to endure. You know, when the children of God are called to do something, then the race can be long. Often beyond our lives. It's in this chapter of Hebrews that the writer writes this. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, we must get rid of every weight and sin that clings so closely and run with endurance the race set for us, keeping our eyes fixed on Jesus, the pioneer, the starter, the author, the perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, disregarding its shame, and taking his seat at the right hand of the throne of God. Think of him who endured such opposition against himself by sinners, so that you may not grow weary in your souls and so give up. You have not yet resisted to the point of bloodshed in your struggle against sin, and you have not forgotten the exhortation addressed to you, that you are sons of God, children. Now, to run, like I said, I'm married to a runner. They prepare. Lynette doesn't only prepare, she prepares mentally. She knows what time she's going to train. In fact, our household chores is designed around her running time. I'm going to be running on Tuesday at 5:30, so supper will be late. But it's already prepared because she knows we don't have patient endurance. So what does she do? She prepares dinner before she goes on a run, because she knows there are males in the house and they need to eat at certain times, because that's how we design it. So when she plans her running, she plans what happens before she goes to it. She puts out her clothing that she's going to wear based on the fact that she checked the weather. She makes sure that the light that she's going to wear, if it's dark, is working and the batteries are fully charged. Her watch has been charged so she can track her progress. She puts on the right clothes, and if it's a cold day, she wears an undergarment that keeps her body warm. At the same time, she wears the right thing so that if it gets warmer while running, she can take that off. We've got an empty bottle in our fridge. An empty bottle. Nobody's allowed to drink from that empty bottle, as if there's something to drink in it anyway. You know, and I'm not talking about like the milk that the men put there. They just leave a little bit in, so they don't have to go to the bin. Just leave a little bit in. I left that for you, honey. And they say we're stupid. We're teaching you patience and endurance. So, in our fridge, there's this empty bottle. It's an Oros bottle. And the reason why it's an Oros bottle, because Lynette has discovered that that bottle best fits her hand when she runs. And she puts exactly the right amount of water in it before she runs, because she knows exactly how much liquid she's going to take for every run. She won't drink more than what she's supposed to, because that will have implications on the run. You know? Otherwise she'll come running home, leaving the toilet. So all these things are worked out, not scientifically, but she's learned to surrender her body to the process of preparation for a race. And I mean, I'm proud of my wife. She's run 10 half marathons already. And simply because I once challenged her to run it. That's amazing. We were doing the watering point on Main Road as a church. And I said to her, look at these women running. Some of them look like they can hardly walk. You should do this. And the next year, she ran her first 2 oceans. And I thought, you know, that's the type of challenge that God would sometimes give us. But I can tell you, the training that went into that. You know, the race was the day, but the preparation for it was a year. And she now runs because she enjoys it. Go figure. I think I'll go for a run. Now she's running for longer distances, and she's preparing for longer races because she's built her body to endure that. I told her the next one is the last one, because I can't endure the training anymore. So when the writer puts this in here, he says, we're surrounded by all these witnesses. It's like there are all these witnesses who surround us, watching us run the race. And they cheer you on. You know, when you run the 2 Oceans and you start the race, you get placed in a group and you can run behind a bus who will tell you, if you run with this guy, he's got a flag, you will get in at exactly the time on that flag. Because he's learned to place himself to run that time. And so you can find, by training, know your pace that you must run. Some people, they run ahead. They run ahead of God, as Ralph said there, and they run fast at the beginning, and then halfway through the race they blow up, they've got no more straight left. Or they run at somebody else's pace, and they haven't prepared to run that pace, and they find themselves burning out. And you know, burnout is a real thing in the faith. Burnout is a real thing in your faith. You can get burnt out on what you've given your life to. You can get burnt out on your faith in Jesus Christ. You know why? Because you're running somebody else's race. The Bible says we must run the race that's marked out for us. Not the race that's marked out for Vaughan. Amen. We must run the race that's marked out for us. Andrew's got his race to run. A lot of people come and say, I want to be like Andrew. I say, be careful. You don't know what he's been through. You don't know what God has given him to prepare him to run his race. Are you prepared to walk in the shoes that he had to walk? Don't just look at the man there. If you don't know what went into it, wait. Wait on God. Wait on God and run the race that's mapped out for you. You know, the thing is that this verse starts with a therefore. And by now you should know. Whenever there's a therefore, we need to see what it's there. And so the whole thing about this chapter is that you can't endure without faith in Jesus Christ. You need the faith, because the faith that needs to be finished, the faith that needs to be perfected is in Jesus, by keeping your eyes fixed on Him, the finisher. If you want to copy somebody who has learned to finish things. Oh man, if I had a couple of bucks for every time somebody came to me with an idea, I'd be a wealthy man. But if I had money for people who have an idea and finish what they start, I'll be a poor man. Because there are so many people who have great ideas, but they want to run with it, and then they start it, and before it even gets traction to become what God intends it to be, they quit because it takes too long to do this. It takes too long to do this. They haven't failed yet. I want to say to you, if you haven't failed at something, you've learned nothing. In fact, I can even go one step further. If you haven't failed at something, you know nothing. Failure in the faith is the best teacher. Because you know when you fail in the faith, the witnesses have seen you. They've seen you. So the last 2 Oceans, two Oceans ago, Melissa did her first one, ran with her mom. And her mom was so worried about her that she didn't see something in the road and she fell. Now when 16,000 people are running in a race in a very narrow road, when you fall, not everybody knows that you're laying there. So you've got to get up quickly, otherwise you'll become their doorman. So she landed on her hands and she obviously, and on her knees, and whilst the blood was still running out of her knees and hands, she got up and just continued running because that was the right thing to do. So you get battered and you get bruised and you trip and you fall and you land flat on your face, and then people, other runners in the race will maybe come and help you up. And you know, this is what the faith is all about. We don't run alone, we run with people who are running the race. We are all in this race together, and we're not running against each other, we're running for our own finish. The Bible says run in such a way that you don't disqualify yourself. And there are so many people who are helping other people run their race that they forget about their own race, and then they end up flat on the floor. And so I want to encourage you, when you fall and when you fail, fall forward, fail forward, and then get up. And don't worry about the scars and the blood and all that. Get up and keep running. Get up and keep running. If the net can do it, you can do it. I don't know if I can do it, but I know the net can do it. So don't follow my example, because she has learned to finish the race. Patient endurance is something I've battled with. I've got a lot of patience. I hang over a lot of patience. So that by the time I get home, I've got little patience left. My daughter will tell you, my son will tell you, my wife will tell you. At home, I'm probably the most impatient person. Because I 24/7 have to exercise patience with believers. The most patient of people. Of all people on the planet, Christians are the most patient. And so pastors work with them. And so we are likewise very patient. Until we get home and the people who know us truly don't know that about us. So I must honestly stand here and say, whilst we're talking of patient endurance, in my home, I'm probably the least patient. And Lynette has got the most patience because she's got to endure me. No, I'm being very serious. She endures me because I come home having dealt with this person, that person, that person, that person, and I've exercised all the grace, all the mercy, all the compassion, all the love that God has inside me. I've given it, I've lavished it on the people that I serve. And I come home, and you know what? All I want to do is left alone. And you walk in, and you get that look, and you know this is going to require patience. And there's very little left. Is that cracked over the short fuse. And at home, my son had to once tell me, Dad, he walked in front of me, stopped me from walking, looked me straight in the eye and said, I don't like you to be like this. I don't like you to be like this. Now look at me. Stop. I think he must take over my job. I think he knows how this works. Imagine you go to a therapist and they say to you, tell me what your problem is. And they share their whole burden with you. And you say, here's the solution. Stop it. You're going to find another therapist. Isn't it? One that will maybe agree with you. Agree with your analysis of your situation. Don't we all do that? We look for counsel from people who will agree with us, rather than look for the counsel of God who will tell us to stop it. The Father's got a lot of patience with us. And often He just says, don't do it. Stop. Wait. That's the love of a Father. And when I tell my children to wait, it's not because I don't want them to have it. Unlike God, we don't have all the resources that He has. Unlike the Father, we've got access to those resources, but He tells us to wait. So we've got to tell our children to wait. And so here's what the Bible says. The Lord disciplines those whom He loves. And it's in this chapter that He says it. So before we can actually be surrounded by this great crowd that encourages us on in our faith to finish the race so we can live this life that God has called us to live, He says, therefore, we can do this. Why? Because He says, now listen to this. By faith. When Moses was born, his parents hid him for 3 months. Because they saw the child was beautiful and they were not afraid of the king's edict. So the king wanted all the boys killed. They hid their boys. And they knew that if the king found out, they would die. But you know what? They believed God. By faith, when he grew up, Moses refused to be called the son of Pharaoh, but rather identified with his own people. By faith, he did that. He regarded abuse for Christ to be greater than wealth. I love the way the Hebrew writer puts it here, or the writer to the Hebrews. He says, Moses put his faith, listen to this, in Christ. That's hectic. Mind-bending stuff. Moses put his faith in Jesus, in Christ. And he regarded abuse suffered for Christ to be greater than wealth and the treasures of Egypt. For his eyes were fixed on the reward. His eyes were fixed on the author and the perfecter of his call. The one who was going to mature him. And then he failed. He did it in his own strength, just like Jonah did. He first started with a false start, did it in his own strength, ended up killing somebody, believing that God had called him to be this mighty leader. But he was leading by his own understanding in that moment. And so, The patient endurance lasted another 40 years. You know, when we make mistakes, there's forgiveness, there's compassion, there's mercy, there's a new beginning. But there's another period of preparation. And there are far too many of us when we make mistakes, we harden ourselves because we think God has given up. No, God has not given up. God does not give up on us. God does not quit on us. God endures with us. He's a father that knows how to endure with his children. He won't quit on you. He won't give up on you. But he will not take a shortcut for you either. So we need to endure with him. By faith, Moses left Egypt without fearing the king's anger. And he persevered as though he could see the one who was invisible. Now remember, he believed in God. He did not see God, but he believed God to be telling him what he needed to do. So he, by this invisible faith in a God that he could not see, but the call that was in him that was pressing him on towards the prize that he knew that God had called him to do. He was pressing and enduring patiently into that. By faith he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of the blood, and he told the people to do the same thing. This is all acts of faith. And by faith he crossed the Red Sea as on dry ground. And then when his pursuers and enemies came, then the Lord swallowed them up in that same thing. But by faith, Rahab, the prostitute, avoided destruction of the disobedient because she welcomed in the spies of God with peace. By faith, the walls of Jericho came tumbling down after 7 days of waiting. By faith. So what more? The writer says, what more can I say? For time will fail me if I tell you about Gideon and Barak and Samson and Jephthah and David and Samuel and the prophets. Through faith, they conquered kingdoms, they administered justice, they gained what was promised, shut the mouths of lions, quenched the raging fire, escaped the edge of the sword, gained strength in weakness, became mighty in battle, put foreign armies to flight. And women received back their dead, raised to life by faith. And others were tortured, not accepting release to obtain resurrection for a better life. And others experienced mocking and flogging, and even chains and imprisonment. They were stoned, they were sawn apart, murdered with a sword. They went about in sheepskin and goatskin, and they were destitute, afflicted, ill. The world was not worthy of them. They wandered in the deserts and mountains and caves and openings of the earth. And these were all commended for their faith. Yet, they did not receive what was promised in their lifetime. For God had provided something far better for us, so that they would be made perfect together with us. You know, sometimes, because we don't see it in our lifetime, we think we didn't hear right. Now, without faith, it is impossible to please God. You need to trust that God is who He said He is, that He will do what He said He will do, that He will do it in the time that He has set aside for you, that you may have to endure a period of preparation, that you may have to endure suffering, you may even have to endure mocking and flogging and treated. Maybe you have been called to be martyred. Maybe you were called to die for this faith. But you can't die for the faith if you're not prepared to live for it. Before you can die for the faith, you must live for the faith. And Jesus lived. And He lived this faith. And He preached it. And He lived it. And people could see. And He understood that there was a joy set before Him. So that when the cross came, He didn't look at the cross as though the cross was going to overcome Him. But He looked beyond the cross to that which He was coming. He said, for this very reason, I came. So I will endure this to get to where we are going. So even though He, in His humanity, had to battle with the thoughts and the feelings that He felt when He realized that the time had come to die, He prayed to the Father, if it was possible, to do it another way. Have you prayed that prayer. Lord, if it's possible, can you please do this another way? I'm tired. I'm weary. I am consumed on the inside with what I am facing. I don't believe that I can do this in my own strength. But yet, Father, if there's no other way, let your will be done. I surrender to you. Patience is not persistence. The race is not a swift one. This is not a 100-meter dash. This is a marathon. And we have got to start it, we've got to prepare for it, we have got to train for it, and we've got to endure it to the end. My encouragement to you this morning is not to be discouraged by the things that you are facing, the stuff that you are going through. God is preparing you for something much greater than this. Amen. 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 Let's stand.